Good morning. It's decision time. You have done the work. You have faced your shadows. And now you're looking out at the world around you and seeing all of the chaos and all of the unraveling around you. And you're being asked to choose. Are you going to take what you have learned about yourself, the truths that you have discovered, and return back to the reality as it was and continue living as you always have? Or are you going to choose to walk with grace and dignity in your truth, regardless of what is going on around you? Are you going to carry yourself embodied in this new expression? Or are you just going to continue maintaining the status quo? Are you going to find your center, which is between the states of individuation and belonging, because we need to be able to operate in both. And our center point is a balance between the two, because we need connection, we need belonging and community, but we also need to be masters of our own note. So it's decision time. Are you going to continue living in the things that you know are not true for you, in order to satisfy systems, entities, paradigms, other people, in order to reduce the noise around you? Or are you going to reduce the noise within you and stand in your dignity, integrity, self-respect, and harmonize with the frequencies around you? We're not here to master everybody else's notes, just our own. The orchestra is already playing. It's been out of harmony for a long time, but we aren't going to bring it back into harmony by not returning to our center and focusing on our instrument. So are you going to embody the truths you've learned and walk with grace? One thing that I have learned from all of my studies and all of the reading that I have done in ancient theologies and all of the religious texts that I have absorbed is that the individuals at the center of these books, whether they be Buddha, Christ, Muhammad, they walked in their own note, in their own path, in the middle of worlds, time periods, cultures that were on fire. And they stayed true to themselves. They didn't conform. They walked their path with grace and dignity and honor. They didn't chase self-preservation. They didn't avoid conflict when it came towards them. They didn't shrink their truth. I think that is one of the greatest lessons for me in when the Romans took Christ, was that he stood in his own truth. He didn't change what he said or what he taught. He also didn't inform them. He didn't explain himself away. He said, you have access to the same information that I do. What does your knowing tell you? And I think that that is an example, whether you are Christian or not, of what it really means to be embodied. Does your truth stand when faced with adversity, or does it run? Does it hide? Does it shrink? So today you are being asked, will you stand in your truth? Will you find your center? Everything that talks about raising your frequency, raising your vibration, and talks of frequency are really teaching us how to master those oscillations, right? Those highs and lows that we all experience. Coherence is, when the brain waves, the heart frequency, your breathing rates, when those all return to center and are operating in coherence. We manage this with our thought forms, because you impact those frequencies by the thoughts that you feed. So does your truth stand, or does it shrink and run? When you are feeling pressed, when the storm is raging around you, do you join the wind, or do you remember that you are in the eye of the storm, untouched, unbothered? Can you return to center? In waveforms, that amplitude, the amplitude is how far away from center, either above or below, what is the word? I lost it. Variance is about the only word that is coming to mind right there. I know there's a better word for it. And my science brain is really upset that the regular me can't find it right now. But those oscillations, we're trying to reduce the oscillations, reduce those occurrences, and how long we stay stuck in these elevated states. We're buffering our sound because we're trying not to oscillate as much. We're trying not to get pulled by every whim, fancy message that comes in. We always return to center. We reduce the amplitude of our responses because our truth is grounded and stable. So it's not about not being moved at all, not having thought forms that counter our truth, not having emotional states that are elevated or excited or even depressed. It's not about not having those. It's when those occur, can we reduce the amplitude of the wave and return to center and buffer ourselves so that we can maintain stability and not get caught up in the oscillations. The faster that we are able to respond by having a secure standing in our note and our frequency, the faster we can return to center, the more we are able to do what these great teachers have done in the past, and that is to face the reality that is around us, whether it is calm and peaceful and going our way or just outright on fire, like conflict and wars, falling of empires, civil disturbances. How fast can we return to our own center? It's the only urgency I chase anymore. It isn't an urgency to respond to outside noise or clamor. It is an urgency to return to my own center. When something rattles me and shakes me, how quickly can I return to grace and gratitude? How quickly can I get back to those thoughts that remember my own power and that my feet stay underneath me and my head remains on my shoulders? So right now there are storms raging around us. All sorts of messages coming in that are trying to push and pull us in one direction or another, trying to maintain the polarity division. Polarity is always going to exist. It's how quickly can we return to center and realize that they are just two aspects of the same waveform. Okay, they're just different sides of the line. One peak and one crest. How quickly can we return to center? Can we embrace those polarities and remember that they are dual expressions of one thing, one truth? And that as we are here to experience all of this fully, deeply, with awareness and capability, fully empowered with our feet beneath us and our head on our shoulders. You are the eye of the storm. So you're at a choice point. Are you going to choose to remain in your center? To cultivate that balance between individuation and tribalism, belonging, and master your own note. You are the eye of the storm. When it is raging outside, are you the harbor that others can come to for clarity, safety, security, stability? Or are you one of the winds blowing things astray? How quickly can you return? You're at that choice point. You're being asked to choose. Will you awaken or will you go back to sleep? Are you going to be grateful? Or are you going to continue to seed fear and doubt in the world? Are you going to practice that awareness of your body and your mind and what it is doing in response to what is going on around you and cultivating your own garden? Or are you going to continue to maintain the status quo? If the status quo is working for you, then by all means, maintain that. If that is your truth, maintain it. Leave things better than the way you found them. Will you choose grace and dignity in how you carry and express yourself? Our attitude is everything. Everything is our attention and presence and the attitude that we carry. Attitude is the balance of those two things, our attention and our presence, and which side of that waveform we are occupying. Some occupy the high crest, some occupy the low crest. Are you the calm center? So you're being asked to choose. Which timeline do you want to live in? Maintaining the status quo or walking with grace in your new truth? You are the lighthouse. You are rooted. Did you root in good soil? Or will what is happening around you erode the ground beneath you? Be aware, notice, observe what is happening in your body and in your mind, and then choose. Choose the path that increases your expression of truth, grace, dignity, and integrity, and live in it. Doesn't matter what other people think about what that is. It is yours to carry and experience. You came here for your experience, not other people's. You're not living anybody else's life. You are choosing your own. So what will you choose? I love you.